All right, today we're going to talk about something that could seriously change the way you work, maybe even the way you think. It's called the flow mindset, and trust me, it's a superpower you already have. Let's dive in.
You know the feeling, right? You've got a dozen tabs open, your phone is buzzing, and it feels like you're juggling everything like a pro. But then you look at the clock, it's the end of the day, and that one really important thing you needed to do, yeah, it's still just sitting there. That's the exact problem we're going to tackle.
It is time to just call it what it is, the multitasking lie. For years, we've been told it's some kind of badge of honor, a skill to put on your resume. But the science is in, and it turns out it's a myth. And it's one that's actively sabotaging our best work.
Now you might be thinking, what about all these new AI tools? Aren't they supposed to help? Well, here's the twist. A lot of times, they're actually making things worse. They promise to make us more efficient, but they just add to the noise, more summaries to read, more data to process. We're ending up more distracted than ever before.
So let's just look at the cold, hard data for a second. What do you think this number, 300, could possibly be? Well, according to Rescue Time, that's how many times the average knowledge worker switches what they're doing in a single day. 300. Just let that sink in. It's insane.
And here's the thing. Every single one of those switches isn't free. It comes with a hidden cost. Every time you jump from that email to that spreadsheet to that Slack message, your brain has to pay a price. Neuroscientists actually call it a switching tax.
So how much are we talking? Well, a study from the University of California found that it takes, on average, 23 minutes to get back into a state of deep focus after just one interruption. Think about that. Every time you glance at a notification, you're not just losing a second, you're potentially restarting a 23-minute clock.
And when you add all that up over the course of a day, the result is absolutely staggering. All that time just trying to get back on track adds up to a 40% loss in productivity. 40%! That's almost half of your day just gone, poof, vanished into the distraction vortex. See, multitasking isn't getting more done. It's just keeping you busy.
And you can literally see this battle playing out inside your own brain. Just look at the difference here. On the left, the multitasking brain is just swimming in cortisol. That's your stress hormone, the one that puts you in fight or flight mode. But on the right, the flow state brain is getting these amazing surges of dopamine. That's the reward chemical that makes you feel good, boosts your learning, and get this, can increase your creativity by 500%. I mean, the choice is pretty obvious, isn't it?
Okay, so if multitasking is the villain of our story, then flow state is definitely the hero. And this isn't some mystical, hard-to-reach concept. It's a real neurological superpower that every single one of us can learn how to unlock.
To put it simply, flow is just being in the zone. You know that feeling where the rest of the world just kind of melts away? You're completely absorbed in what you're doing, you lose all track of time, and your brain is just firing on all cylinders. That is where your absolute best work gets done.
And this really gets to the heart of the paradigm shift we need to make. The goal isn't to grind out more hours at your desk. The goal is to cultivate more focused hours. We're seeing Agile teams that get this right report finishing their work 30% faster. Not by working longer, but by working so much smarter.
So how do we actually do this? Well, there's this brilliant little hack that comes from the world of project management, specifically Kanban. It's called a WIP limit, or work in progress limit. It's a super simple rule. You just intentionally limit how many things you work on at once. Maybe it's 3, maybe it's 2. By doing that, you're literally protecting your brain's ability to get into that flow state.
And the proof is in the pudding. The results are incredible. Teams that use these simple limits see their stress levels drop by almost 40%. And this isn't just theory. Big companies like Spotify and HSBC use this exact strategy to double their throughput. They got twice as much done without hiring a single new person.
All right, so we've covered the what and the why. Now for the really fun part, the how. This is the practical toolkit. And these aren't just ideas. These are the actual proven habits of elite performers. Everyone from top surgeons to best-selling authors who have mastered this stuff.
Here is a simple 4-step framework you can literally start tomorrow. First, in the morning, plan just 3 main priorities for your day. That's it. Second, schedule 3 90-minute blocks for deep, focused work on those tasks. No interruptions. Third, and this is crucial, take real breaks in between. No screens, go for a walk. Finally, at the end of the day, take 15 minutes to review and plan for tomorrow. It's a simple rhythm that builds an incredibly powerful habit.
And hey, there's even more you can do. Instead of reacting to every notification, try batching them. Set aside a couple of 15-minute windows to deal with email and Slack all at once. Put up a flow mode status on your apps to let people know you can't be disturbed. You can even use AI as your personal bouncer, a gatekeeper to sort through your notifications and tell you what's actually urgent.
So, let's just boil this all down. Context switching is the thief, stealing up to 40% of your workday. But unlocking flow state is the superpower, boosting your performance by an unbelievable 400 to 700%. It really comes down to this. Multitasking scales stress, flow scales you.
I want to leave you with this last thought because it's so powerful. We tell ourselves we're being productive when we're juggling a million things, but deep down, we know it's a lie. The truth is, our brains are wired for deep focus. It's what they crave. That's the state of flow.
And that brings us to the final question, and this one is for you to really think about. What is your single biggest flow killer? Is it the constant notifications, back-to-back meetings? Whatever it is, just identifying it, well, that's the first and most important step to taking back control and unlocking your own superpower.